Hey guys, M13 here, and this is possibly the first video you're gonna see with my new setup. I've had problems in the past figuring out a microphone solution to my recording. It's not easy to use a mic while riding on a motorcycle with all the wind noise, etc. Especially for me, more so with me than with other motovloggers, because I use a half helmet, like just a little, what do they call that? A something lid or whatever. Like, you know, like Harley guys wear, just a tiny little helmet on the top of their head, and that's it. So with that setup, I need to find a microphone that can hear me clearly, but not the wind, and hopefully pick up the sound my motorcycle makes. I've actually tried using microphones in the past, and the problem has always been way too much wind noise. All you hear once I start moving is the wind. You don't hear my voice, and it's just noisy as heck. Doesn't sound good. So I went out and bought a digital microphone, spent a couple $100 for you guys so I could, because you know, my options were get a GoPro dongle, because a lot of people use a dongle connected to the GoPro, and the dongle itself costs $50 US or something ridiculous, and just an adapter so you can use a microphone with your GoPro, and it costs like $50 for the adapter, and you still got to get the mic. And I thought to myself, what happens if I get this adapter and it still sounds like crap? Plus, that means I need a GoPro running all the time, and I don't use a GoPro as my main camera, but I do own a GoPro, so I thought maybe I'll have like my main camera plus a GoPro running just for the audio. And then there's a lot of batteries to worry about too, because batteries on action cameras don't last the longest. So I decided against it. I decided to spend a little bit more money and just get like an okay microphone. It's not really a professional microphone. It's like a amateur microphone, but it's still just a dedicated digital recorder. How about that? A PCM recorder mic. So I got one. And then I found out that the microphone I had wasn't compatible with it. Evidently, there's you either have like 3 prong connectors, or what is it, like three something connectors and 2 something connectors, and phones use the 3, but recorders use a 2. So my mic was for a phone. So even after I bought a recorder, I still didn't have a microphone I could connect to it. And then I found an adapter for my mic, and then I got that hooked up, and then I went out and I did like a test recording, and I played it back, and I was like, wow, no wind noise. That's great. This works. You could hear my voice clearly, and in the recording, I'm like, I'm doing 80 kilometers an hour right now, 50 miles an hour, and so if you can still hear me, then this works. And I could still hear me clearly, so I'm like, oh, that works. So then I made like a video or 2 where I'm talking away, and then I get home and I review the videos with the audio, and can you guess what the problem was? The problem was that you could hear me clearly and nothing else. There was no engine noise, there was no background noise. I was so worried about wind noise that I adjusted the microphone to just pick up my voice and absolutely nothing else. So when you watch the video, it's me flying along on a motorcycle or a scooter, and there's no wind, there's no engine, there's no nothing, and then there's me talking. So it 100% appears like it's a video of a guy riding that's been muted, and then some other guy is talking over it, and it's the most unnatural, unappealing video I've maybe ever done. Yeah. So I was like, oh gosh. So back to the drawing board. So I went back and I'm like, I can't. Oh, you gonna chase me? How about I chase you? How about that? How about that? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll fight you. You wanna fight? I'll fight. Come on. It's okay. I'm very friendly. Hi. Are you friendly? You look nervous, but you're still following me. You can't chase me. No, I don't like being chased. And it's not just about my ego. It's about the fact that dogs that chase cars get killed by cars. Because what's going to happen one day is a car's going to go by here and you're going to run out to chase it and you're going to get run over from the car following it. So it's actually because I have your best interest at heart that I'm talking back to you and being aggressive with you. Do you understand that? I don't think either of you do. Hi! Hi! Yeah, you're very pretty though. You're both very pretty. But you're not allowed to chase me. No. I said you're not allowed to chase me. You can't chase me. You can't. No. Don't do it. It's okay. And they're not chasing. Yeah, people think like if you were just to see me chasing down a dog on my motorcycle, you would think I was like a dog hater. But in actuality, I'm a dog lover, as anyone who's been with my channel for a little bit knows. I'm just it's exactly what I said. If a dog is in the habit of chasing motorcycles or scooters, for one thing, sometimes it scares the crap out of me. I'm riding along on my scooter, I'm thinking about something else, and all of a sudden a dog comes running out the side and like barking, and it could, in theory, cause someone to crash. Probably not me, but it's also not impossible. So, yeah, and it's funny because like at my old house, there was a couple of dogs that did that. They chased scooters a lot, and then I was driving those roads a lot, so they were chasing me. But whenever they would chase me, I would always chase them right back. And after doing that a few times, they just stopped chasing me. And it was funny because they could tell the sound of my scooter over everyone else's. And I own multiple vehicles, so like all of my motorcycles and scooters, they would just allow to go by, and they wouldn't mess with me. And then someone else would be behind me on a scooter or a motorcycle, and they'd come running out and be all aggressive with them. So, yeah. So, you know, at the very least, I was teaching them not to chase me, and that's the best way to do it, is just to let them know you're not going to stand for it. But it is possible that if enough people did that to them, that they would just stop chasing people altogether. What my mom did this. My mom had a dog, and she had a lot of friends that rode motorcycles in England. This is in England. And my mom was the only girl in an all-male motorcycle club. Which makes her sound like a whore, but she wasn't. It was just like a friendly riding club, and she was like her brother or her uncle. I think it was her uncle. Her uncle was in the club, and she got into it through him. Anyways, yeah, her dog would, so she had motorcycles coming by our home a lot, and then her dog would chase motorcycles, and she didn't want it to because it's dangerous. So what she did was she tied the dog up, and then she had a bunch of people, like a few guys, drive at her dog with their motorcycles and slam on the brakes last second and like drift towards her dog and maybe kick some rocks at it with their rear tires, etc. And she just literally had some guys on motorcycles bully her dog. It sounds like a bad person. Totally not a bad person. Her dog from that day on never chased another motorcycle again, and therefore never got ran over, and therefore she saved its life. So yeah, people would say it's like what would be a completely non-aggressive, what would be a completely non-aggressive way, non-punishment way of teaching a dog not to chase motorcycles? Like what? Like give it a hug every time a motorcycle goes by and then give it a treat? That wouldn't work. It would take forever too. Yeah. That's the thing, you know, they say when you're teaching children or animals, they say rewards are better than punishment. That's true. I agree. But they also take a lot longer. You know what I mean? Like if you got a choice between giving an animal a light smack 3 times or rewarding them 20, it's like at some point you got to just take a look at your watch and decide which you want to do, because they'll learn both ways. You can teach an animal with reward or punishment, but punishment is generally a lot quicker. But how would you teach a dog with reward not to chase motorcycles? I seriously can't think of a way to do that. Yeah, so that's totally not the topic of this video, is it? So where was I at? Oh yeah, so So the audio was unusable because all you could hear was me talking, and it sounded like a voiceover for a muted riding clip, and it was horrible. So I'm using the same digital recorder right now as I speak to you, but hopefully you can hear some motorcycle engine noises in the background. It has the recorder has preset scenes, kind of like how you have scenes with the camera, like taking a picture of food, taking a picture of sunset, taking a picture of nature in the distance, portraits. So digital recorders also have scenes like that, and you can choose like interviewing someone, recording a lecture at a university, recording an office meeting, recording music. And I tested them all, and I found the one that worked best. Was loud music. You tell it to record loud music, and then it just automatically adjusts for the volume that it needs. When I speak, I'm guessing it's turning down the volume of the engine, but when I be quiet, I think it searches for sound because it thinks it's listening to music, and then it amps up the sound of the engine. Or maybe just because it's told it's listening to music, it's kind of trying to include everything. But I don't know why the wind gets filtered out. Maybe it recognizes that as not being music or not being something people want. I don't know. So, police up ahead. Let's slow down a bit. This is actually this road I'm on right now. There's only a few turns, but this road is gorgeous. When you're going downhill, you can really fly down this thing, and it's like 4 lanes wide and nice pavement. I don't know why he's sitting here. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of the video of me talking about my new setup. I'm using the Sony A10 PCM recorder. You have to type in all of it because they have a camera called the A10. I think they have a TV called the A10, but it's their digital sound recorder Sony A10. That's what I'm using, and then that connected to a microphone, which do you know where I put the microphone? I actually tried a few different places, and it seemed to work well no matter where I put it. Like I tried stuffing it like on my forehead, because I don't have a chin. I'm wearing a half helmet, so I stuffed it up into the above my forehead, and it worked fine. You could still hear me clearly speaking. And I put it over in behind my ear. That worked fine as well. Where I have the mic right now is in my face mask, in my COVID mask. And that's funny because COVID masks are they're windproof. You know, they're breathable, but they stop the majority, so they stop the wind. So there's no they stop like 98% of the wind right there. So there's no actual wind blowing on the mic, even though it's directly in front of my mouth, and I'm wearing a half helmet, which is funny. So it's like a new use for the COVID mask. I never Taiwan people, they actually wear COVID masks before COVID was ever a thing when they're riding their motorcycles, just to protect themselves from pollutants in the air, from car exhaust. It's very common here for people that overly care about their health to wear a face mask every time they get on a motorcycle, just to protect, so they're not breathing in fumes from cars. And I've had people here tell me I should do that because I ride a lot, and I've never done it because I just didn't like having a mask on. But maybe now for motovlogging, even when COVID is done and gone, I'll still carry a face mask just for motovlogging, which is an interesting development. It's an interesting, ironic twist on the whole thing, because I never liked face masks, and then when I got forced to wear one, I found a use other than what it was meant for. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's long enough for a video, so I'm just going to pull over and end it here and check my battery and then maybe talk about something else. So this is the microphone. The white thing is an adapter. I need a shorter adapter, and then the black thing hooks up to a mic. It's got a windsock on it, which I'm not using, and I can look here and see the video's been 16 minutes long. So it's interesting. And the battery on this thing, I can record for 10 hours on this. That's better than using a GoPro as a mic. I can go 10 hours on this one audio on one charge on the recorder.